Hello, class, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on the latest stories. We start with Frenkie de Jong. It has been reported that manager Xavi's relationship with the exit-linked Barcelona midfielder has deteriorated. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then secondly, talking about Samuel Umtiti, it has been reported that Barcelona are hopeful about offloading the injury-prone defender in the last week of this transfer window. We are also going to be looking at that. So callers, as we get right into it, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please don't hesitate to do so. If you're just coming across the channel for the very first time, you are very welcome. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Frenkie de Jong has been one of the most talked about figures in the transfer market in Europe this summer, having become a top target for a host of top clubs. The Barcelona midfielder has been fiercely linked with a move away from the Camp Nou due to its lucrative wages that have crippled Barcelona's powers in the market. It has forced the club to consider its exit in an attempt to bring in some much needed revenue. Throughout the summer, the Barcelona board has pushed heavily for the sale of Frenkie de Jong. Their treatment of the Dutchman has not gone down too well with a player who was thought to be the light bearer of this Barca team in the years to come. However, amid all these speculations, Xavi had always remained a strong supporter of de Jong. The Barcelona coach rated the midfielder highly and wanted him to become a part of the team in the coming season and indeed for many years to come. That said, the relationship between Xavi and de Jong is starting to deteriorate in recent weeks as per reports from Dario AS. The report comes in the midst of rumors linking de Jong to an exit from Camp Nou, after facing immense scrutiny from not only the club but the fans as well. It has left him in a precarious position, with even his own supporters not too keen on seeing him play for Barca in the coming season. Xavi has not played any role in mitigating the issue either. In fact, the Barcelona head coach understands the club's position and is willing to sanction his exit. He even went on to start Pablo Gavi ahead of the Dutchman in the season opener against Rayo Vallecano. In light of all this, de Jong has opted not to trust anyone in the Barcelona management, and his relationship with Xavi has deteriorated massively. With that in mind, it will not be surprising to see the midfielder ultimately leaving Camp Nou this month, a move that could prove to be beneficial for all parties involved. As I have always said, this Frenkie de Jong saga is not helping anyone. The player ever since made it stands to be clear to the club that staying is his priority and not going to Chelsea, neither going to Manchester United, that have been showing serious interest in him. Xavi is that kind of a manager that will never tell you what is in his mind, go into the press and say he's okay with everything. But from his actions, he shows the world what he intends to do. During the game against Rayo Vallecano, it might be surprising, yes, to see Pablo Gavi playing ahead of Frenkie de Jong, starting in the starting lineup. But that was just a statement from Xavi that things were not going well with Frenkie de Jong. The relationship normally will not be the same again like last season. It's never going to be the same again. That's just normal. And when we look at how things are going, things are not moving any better. We don't have much time left for this transfer window to come to a close. And as it stands, nobody knows what is going to happen with Frenkie de Jong. But for the player, he very much believes that he'll be here after this transfer window comes to a close. He'll be at Barca. But when we see how Barca have been pushing so hard to get rid of Frenkie, because they know how beneficial it will be for them when it comes to their finances and so on and so forth, it is difficult to see Barca just be there like that before the summer transfer window comes to a close without doing anything. So let's see what happens in the coming days, in the coming weeks. Let's see the kind of action that Barca want to take. And it is really sad to see that, Frenkie de Jong have been treated this way. And with these reports from Dario AS talking about the kind of relationship right now that Frenkie have with Xavi, it's kind of unfortunate to see that the relationship is really deteriorated. Xavi is a strong fan of Bernardo Silva, and from reports we have been hearing that Xavi would prefer having Bernardo Silva and getting rid of Frenkie de Jong in his lineup. So Let's see if the Bernardo Silva, by the way, will even work in the first place. Before even talking about offloading Frenkie de Jong, there have been a lot of talk of if Bernardo Silva's move is evident, then Frenkie de Jong must depart. But there are some other reports saying that both of them can still coexist in the same team. Nobody knows what will happen. If, of course, Frenkie de Jong will leave or he will stay, or Frenkie de Jong will stay and Barca still consider bringing in Bernardo Silva to join him in the team. It all remains to be seen how things will look like. Then, moving on to the next story of discussion, Samuel Umtiti knows his relationship with Barcelona is running its course. At the same time, however, it can't be made possible on paper until the departure is made official before the transfer window slams shut. Now, both parties, including the players' camp and the club, are working on finding the best possible solution. The Spanish publication Mundo Deportivo says the lack of suitors is stalling every attempt. Umtiti's ongoing deal with Barcelona runs until 2026, and while there were earlier reports of interest from the likes of Olympique Lyonnais and Olympiacos, neither team came up with concrete offers for Barcelona to even ponder. Umtiti has been on the market for over a year, but Barcelona have been unable to overlook his injury record, which has been a primary reason why suitors have stayed away from the Frenchman. As reported before, Umtiti tried to rejoin his former employer Olympique Lyonnais this summer, but the team from France Ligue 1 decided to explore other options instead. For now, the defender knows he can be at the top of his game, and all that needs is a competitive edge, something that Barcelona just cannot afford or cannot award given the competition that have in this area. In that regard, they have as many as 5 central defenders in Gerard Piqué, Ronald Araujo, Andres Christensen, Eric Garcia, and Jules Koundé. For this reason, everyone involved is hoping to find a quick resolution as Umtiti has been very professional throughout his tenure. To begin with, renewed his deal back in January, which reduced his annual salary or his annual wages by 10%. All this was done so that Barcelona could register the January signings Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Ferran Torres. And now that the team is facing similar challenges with regards to Jules Koundé, Barcelona are doing everything in their power to find Umtiti a new team. For a very long time now, Barcelona have been trying so hard to get Umtiti off the wage box, which have never been easy. It have never been easy. This is about the third summer transfer window in a row that Barca have been trying to push Umtiti out of the Camp Nou, but it have not been fruitful. First of all, we know about Umtiti's injury record is very poor, and that have really made many clubs to be discouraged. Even his own former club, Olympique Lyon, showed interest, but at the end, they had to back down, saying that Umtiti, they are not sure how he will cope with the team. Of course, the Umtiti now is not the Umtiti back in 2016 when he left Lyon to Barca, and things have drastically changed. Umtiti himself, from the look of things, he's not even putting the effort. He's very comfortable with the salary that he receives without touching the ball every time. And of course, Barca are finding it so difficult, and Barca now see the urgent need to get rid of this guy as soon as possible as the transfer window comes to a close sooner. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.